lane choice. So you might go up there and say, okay, let's maybe banter off just a little bit, make sure it goes down the racetrack. We should be able to get lane choice if it goes to the finish line under power without any tire smoke. But boy, we got to be careful because we don't want to give it away to Brandon Bernstein.
Another good race there, though, and the right lane held for Brandon, but not enough to take the win. 393, 308 miles an hour to Larry Dixon, the #1 qualifier here 2 years in a row now.
Give credit to Rob Flynn and that Budweiser crew. Kenny Bernstein did not, hang his head low for that. That was a very good run in a very tough lane. I don't know if Alan Johnson did that strategy we just talked about. Let's say, okay, let's go out there and make sure we go down the track. He might just run this in this one we're going to try to run because that right lane was so bad. Probably did not expect Brandon to be able to run the number he did, but when you look at the Lucas Oil photo finish cam, because of Brandon Bernstein getting hooked up, that was a good old drag race to the stripe.
And that man right there, Larry Dixon, is now the points leader as things continue to change. A little bit earlier, Gary Gerald caught up with Hector Arana at the top end.
Well, the last pair that comes down the track in Pro Stock Motorcycle in the first round finds Hector the Hammer laying one down. That 94, what kind of a statement did you just make there against your competition?
I'm just letting them know that I'm after this championship. This Lucas Oil Dixie Chapel bike is going to make runs and keep winning runs, so I have a fair chance of winning this championship. I taste it. I want it. I'm going to fight for it. I need all those, like I said earlier, calling Larry Morgan. We're sending these heads because I need every pony, every horse, every Mustang in my stall. I'm going to collect all the horses that I can. And I need everyone help, support, and keep supporting the Lucas Oil product. It's excellent. It works.
And keep in mind, he's on a roll. He won at Indy, the U.S. Nationals, backed it up first round of the playoffs last week at Charlotte.
Well, here comes Antron Brown and Tony Schumacher.
Well, the situation here is Antron obviously doesn't have lane choice. He's been put in that right-hand lane. The good news is you saw Brandon go down that racetrack, make it a nice pass. But Brandon Bernstein was doing that all weekend long, making consistent race runs down that, not in ball lanes. The only car to go down the track every single time. He just came up a little bit short to Larry Dixon.
Brian Crowley very aware of what's going on in the right lane, following Mike. Says he can't give anything back, though, to that Army car. Says he's got that same 391 tune-up in it that he had in the first round when they won. The good news for him, as you guys mentioned, they saw Bernstein go down, but will it be good enough news for this car?
Go down that right-hand lane. You're going to have a car that has very smooth clutch application in the middle of that racetrack. If you've got a car that's kind of aggressive, you're going to be in trouble.
There it is again. Tony Schumacher, 391. Don Schumacher, the owner of the team, watches his guy, his son, running at 315 miles an hour.
Well, that's important because that will give Tony lane choice over Spencer Massey in the semifinals. Taking that look at both cars were pretty much dead even at about the 330-foot point. Shortly after that, he saw Antron drive up into smoke. Go out there and blow him off like we've seen some other cars, but still, there just doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of racetrack out there, even though Brandon was able to go down and run a decent number. But when you're trying to run, like they said, Brian Caradios tried to run a 391, and obviously they would have had to run that or maybe a little bit better. But unfortunately, that right lane was just not going to hold that tune-up.
And Larry Dixon, what was he like? First in the points for maybe 4 minutes? Well, Tony Schumacher is now first in the points. The semifinal matchups will pit Larry Dixon against Sean Langdon. Larry will have the lane choice that's so important here today.
Now the matchup, Spencer Massey and Tony Schumacher with that low T of the round, 391 laps time.
Well, one more look at Schumacher with his dad, Don Schumacher, watching on as Tony takes yet another win. Well, coming up, it'll be Ashley Forrest Hood, and she will face her teammate, Mike Neff. It was 27 years ago that a female, the great Shirley Muldowney, led the points fight in Nitro this late in the season. Well, already the funny cars are fired and ready. John Forrest will face Jack Beckman. Two of the super teams go up against one another. And here is the funny car ladder. Robert Hyde, Tim Wilkerson, both in the countdown. Everybody on this side is in that countdown fight.
Well, not everybody on the other side. Bob Tassin going up against Jerry Tolliver, but then the big matchup on the starting line right now, John Force and Jack Beckman. Jack having that all-important lane choice.
Jack Beckman out of the Don Schumacher Racing stable. John Force out of his own stable. We're talking a lot of funny cars there. What? 3 for Schumacher, 4 for John Force. A lot of information. Let's see if it helps. No, still not going to work in the right-hand lane. 4:21 for Jack Beckman.
Jack, 4:21, 4.
294 miles an hour. Johnny West, the crew chief on Jack Beckman's car.
Well, you got to give credit to Austin Coyle, John Force, and that team to get down that right-hand lane. They probably went up to run similar to what they did in the first round, which was a 4:25. They went a 4:27, but Jack Beckman, he stepped up. He went 4:24 in the first round, stepped it up to 4:21. You look at wins by lane, a little bit one-sided there, isn't it, Paul?
0, 0, 0. Yeah, I'm thinking. Just completes the burnout. Robert Hyde already has. Let's go to Dave Reef. He has Austin Coyle.
Very few people, if any, have more experience than this man about getting a car down a racetrack. You got John down the racetrack, but what specifically is the problem with getting a car down the right lane today, you know?
Oh, the right lane's just slipperier than the left because the rubber isn't bonded as well down there, and we softened it up enough to get it to go down there. It wasn't quick enough to win. Simple as that.
Should anybody be able to win out of that right lane today at all?
Oh, I'm sure you'll see somebody do it, but it ain't easy.
And haven't yet either.
Love that technical stuff. It's slipperier. That's the kind of technical stuff you use, isn't it? It's like a 0.4 slipperier.
Well, you got to love Austin Coyle. He just tells it like it is. I mean, and Austin Coyle, you know, the reason he is so good, he's one of those guys that has a common sense tuner, and he can take that technical stuff and break it down into a common sense application.
That guy, Lewis Bloom.
Robert Hyde, we followed his career from the #1 spot, only 3 wins in 30 tries. But here's the good stat, the good karma stat, as I like to call it. His last win from the pole was right here at the Motorplex in 2006. I guarantee Robert knows that.
Robert Hyde, the #1 qualifier. Of course, he has taken the left lane. We'll see who is the first guy going to be able to do something with the right lane. Will it be Wilkerson? Takes the win, but that one got a little closer. 4:22 for Robert Hyde.